What's poppin', and welcome to Popcorn episode 9. Welcome to Popcorn, your stop for all things pop. I'm your host, Cholo Sediaren, and here with me today is Boodie Lastimosa, or should I mean tonight, because something
Something unfortunate happened.
Yeah, I mean it's not really it's really unfortunate or
It
tragic.
is. It was.
Well, for in terms of podcasting, it kind of was. But today, this is before we go forward with that story. This is the Stranger Things episode where we've been really excited to have this episode in the past. Earlier today, yun nga, we recorded. It's already like 12 midnight or way past 12 midnight. And we're here at Boodie's house in her entertainment room. Because we lost our episode. The only recording that came out was the video recording for Radyo Katipunan.
So we lost the audio for the original Stranger Things episode that we recorded.
Sadly, that was a great episode.
Yeah.
Now it's just like a lost episode. We don't know if we're gonna ever recover it or something. But if we do, just wait for it. It will be uploaded as a bonus episode or whatever.
But now we'll try our best to recount everything that we said.
Earlier today, also, Angela Natividad, one of our usual co-hosts, was also part of the episode. So we'll be hearing a special message from her later as well. So, let's begin with the show. Even if we already said all of this earlier.
Yeah. But they don't know that.
They don't know that.
So
last week we had another special not in studio episode. We had I had a solo episode, and I had a extra special guest, Mimi, Hawaiian Filipino musician. She's really talented, I can say that, and we bonded over the past week doing promo for her latest song with Elmo Magalona called Kiki Love, which is still really funny dito sa Pilipinas kasi sa buong radio tours and TV tours, they're like, really, what does Kiki even mean? I mean, we already briefed Mimi what Kiki is alluded to here in
the
Philippines, but at the end of the day, it's about Kiki, the name from
Drake's
the Drake song, In My Feelings. So yun. So, before anything, of course, if you'd like to listen to our previous episodes, you can go find it on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, YouTube, and wherever you stream your podcasts. And you can also look back at our Facebook live sessions on Radyo Katipunan 87.9 FM. So, let's go with our first segment, which is always the pop kern or pop culture kernels of the week and our reactions. Okay. Is it a yes, a sax, or a pass? Or a sad. May a sad pa pala.
That's the new addition.
The new addition from our Toy Story
Kunwari, I
episode.
don't know that yet.
You were there in that episode.
Because 2 hours ago it didn't happen.
Yeah, it didn't happen. So, first of all, a comment on a sports segment that people or our listeners have been commenting on.
People have been shocked that Cholo's been talking about sports the past few episodes.
I mean, let me just say that I just want to be, a bit more well-rounded in terms of reporting and not just biased about my own expertise. So as a media practitioner, as we'd like to say in the comm department, I just want to be well-researched and give updates on pop culture in general. So, of course, in the Toy Story episode, we talked about the NBA free agency, care of Boodie. And last week, I just wanted to update on the Kawhi Leonard thing.
Taray, he pronounced it right.
Oh, yes. Go sports. So, I mean...
Pero now,
I don't know anything that's happening at this point because parang it's not as big anymore.
We can share. Not the big thing in sports now is the Wimbledon, tennis.
Oh, natalo si
Federer.
Joke.
No. Mali ka ba?
Mali pa ako.
So, the news, Cholo, if you haven't heard, so Novak Djokovic beat Roger Federer in the finals in Wimbledon.
Tamang may Djokovic.
Oo.
Pero siya yung nanalo.
Yeah. And it was the longest, if I'm not mistaken, it was the longest singles final in Wimbledon history. It was like 5 hours long.
Wow.
So, like, nag-tiebreak sila.
And people are like, we're expecting Federer to win, right?
Well, kasi fan favorite talaga siya. But like,
Like Valentina.
Yeah. As in, he had 2 championship points, si Federer, and he lost both points, and then Djokovic ended up winning it. So it was very interesting. I'm not a big tennis fan, pero I found it very...
Me neither, obviously.
I found it very entertaining. Ano pa ako, I slept late pa to finish the game.
So yeah,
Anyways,
you'll be expecting more sports, whether I'm a sports fan or not. It's nice to have a well-rounded group of popcorns. But
next,
the most important popcorn, I believe, of this generation of this episode is we have a new Darna.
Yeah.
They just announced yesterday, nag-trend siya #1 on Twitter, that we have a new Darna, and it's Jane De Leon of Star Magic. She's a girl trend. She also appeared as the sister of Jericho Rosales in the popular teleserye Halik. She's relatively unknown pa rin as a household name. So
it's exciting.
It's exciting to see that they chose to go with a pretty unknown actress instead of the fan favorite to become Darna, which is Nadine Lustre. Sorry to the quote-unquote president. You can just go be president.
May issue ko talaga about that nickname.
The president. Anyway, so yun, si Jane is a newbie actress. She's part of Star Magic, and director Gerald Tarog chose her because he believes that she's an instinctive actress. So it's pretty exciting to see how this will pan out. Kasi yun nga, I haven't seen any of her work, but based on my mom's comments about her in Halik, she's saying
good.
na she's good daw. So it's nice that they chose somebody unknown. So it's a yes.
Yeah, yes.
True. Aside from that, it's interesting to note that a lot of the Showtime girl trends and hashtags are really branching out to bigger shows. Kasi ang dami na nag-acting in indie movies, mainstream movies, and Jane is just one of the newer faces to join the squad.
Yeah.
And we don't really know what other details, like when this will show or not, and who will Ding be. Will he be a hashtag? Or di natin alam kung sino
or
yung
magbibigay
ng bato kay Darna. So, abangan natin yan in the future.
Takdang panahon.
Sa takdang panahon, sabi ni Kuya. Next, we have more Pinoy movie news. They just released last week the PBP 2019 finalists. So, that's the Pista ng Pelikulang Pilipino 3rd edition this 2019. So, each PPP finalist received up to 2 million worth of funding to support the production and marketing costs. And there will be short films as part of the Sine Kabataan, which is attached to each feature film. So here's just a short rundown on the 10 finalists that got into this festival. So first we have The Panty Sisters, directed by June Lana, starring Paula Ballesteros, Martin Del Rosario, and Christian Babbles.
Or Babels, as I'd like to read it. And then the next is Cuddle Weather, directed by Rod Marmol, starring RK, how do you pronounce Bagat Singh, and Sue Ramirez.
We also have LSS, directed by Jade Castro, starring Gabby Garcia, Khalil Ramos, and Ben and Ben.
That's the movie that I think I'm most excited for.
It's kind of like musical-ish.
Yeah, it's such a weird concept na like the Ben and Ben are playing themselves, right?
Yeah.
And then...
It's kind of like a love story revolving around them following Ben and Ben.
Yeah.
And of course, their songs are iconic enough to be featured in a whole movie for sure. I mean, yung Maybe the Night pa lang,
ang
laki na niya,
pang
excess
credit
baggage.
song na yun.
So, yun.
So then next we have G, directed by Don Santos, starring Makoy De Leon, Jameson Blake, Mark Oblea, and Paulo Angeles.
See, ito yung sinasabi kong hashtags eh.
Puro hindi ko alam yun eh.
Except Mark Oblea. Si Mark Oblea is one of our artists.
Baka si Jameson Blake yung...
Yeah, Jameson Blake. Papa-shoutout tayo kay Jameson. Next, we have I'm Elenia L. Or if you put it together, it's pronounced I'm Millennial. directed by Boy Tukizon, starring Inigo Pascual and Maris Racal. We also have Open, directed by Andoy Ranay, starring JC Santos and RC Munoz. We have Watch Me Kill, directed by Tyrone Asherto, starring Jean Garcia and Jay Manalo.
We have Circa, directed by Adolfo Alex Jr., starring Anita Linda, Gina Alahar, Loris Gillian. I'm sorry, sobrang di ako mag-pronounce ng names. Jacqueline Jose, Elizabeth Oropesa.
Ricky Davao and Enchong D.
I'm so
Sobrang
sorry.
powerhouse cast nito.
Yeah.
It's pretty interesting to see what Circa will have because it's sort of like parang it's a commemoration of 100 years of Filipino film, which is officially celebrated through this festival along with a lot of other movies this year. And we also have two more. Pagbalik, directed by Hubert TB and Maria S. Ranillo, starring Gloria Sevilla, Suzette Ranillo, and Vince Ranillo. And lastly, we have Lola Igna or Lola Inya, directed by Eduardo Roy Jr., starring Yves Flores, Meryl Soriano, and Maria Isabel Lopez. So, for me, PPP 2019 is a yes. Based on the log lines that I've seen and some of the trailers that I've seen, there are a lot of interesting stories to be told this year.
Like, there's a variety of different parang topics and themes that each movie is gonna be talking about. So, interesting.
And it's nice that we have a festival that actually does this as compared to MMFF. Kasi,
Which we'll get into
in a bit. Kasi last year, Boodie and I actually watched a lot of the PPP films. Thank you to Miss Liza Dino Segura for the passes. We were able to watch a lot and they were really great. And hopefully this year, we'll have enough time to watch them too. PPP 2019 is running from September 9 to 13, I believe. 2019. So that's next month or 2 months from now. So, abangan natin ang PPP 2019. So, next, we have, mali pala, ayun, September 13 to 19, not 3 to 19. So, it's just like 6 days of pure Filipino movies in the theaters. So, next, speaking of festivals and MMFF, the first 4 entries to the MMFF have been revealed a day before the PPP was revealed. So, here are the entries. We have number 1, Kampon, starring Chris Aquino and Derek Ramsey. Number 2, Momaland. We don't know how to pronounce it. Starring Vice Ganda and Ann Curtis. We're theorizing that this is some sort of
like K-pop,
K-drama.
Something.
And then we also have Mission Unstoppable starring Vic Soto and Maine Mendoza. And lastly, a Filipino adaptation to Miracle in Cell Number 7 starring Aga Mulak and the President, Nadine Lustre.
Madam President.
For me, this is a sax.
Because
Yeah,
it's the same thing that, just based on the titles and the actors, I feel like it's gonna be like the same thing we get every year. So,
I mean, it feels so rigged at this point na, okay, it's all about making money more than artistic integrity or whatever. So, it's a spaz. I mean, it's a sax kasi...
Spaz!
It's a spaz. It's a sax kasi, yun nga, we're disappointed but we're not surprised. And, yeah, we'll have to wait and see what the other 4 entries will be.
Yeah.
Pero yun nga, good for PBP that we have that kind of festival, given that
exposure.
December has been kinda, not so good in the past 2 years. So it's a pass or a sax or whatever I said.
Yeah. It's late.
It's late and we have to finish this episode. Just a short bit. We'd like to say rest in peace to Cameron Boyce. He's a 20-year-old Disney star who was starred in the TV show Jessie and the TV movie franchise Descendants. He passed away just last week due to an undisclosed illness. And yun, it's so sad. I would be sad if one of my Disney idols passed away
of
when
course,
we were that age.
Yeah. Of course, this might not affect us personally as much, but like I'm sure the kids now, like they grew up with Cameron
Descendants.
Boyce and like seeing him on their TV screen. So I'm sure it's definitely a really sad time for a lot of the youths right now.
So it's a sad.
It's a sad.
Okay, up next. So Ann Curtis portrayed a transgendered man on MMK in the July 13 episode of the 28-year running anthology series entitled
MMK.
Embrace Me. It's the story of Mars Balauro, who is a 62-year-old transgender man from the Philippines who was arrested in 2017 for performing same-sex unions in Hong Kong. So he's been known for fighting for the rights of Filipino LGBTQ OFWs. So this for me is a pass, of course.
I mean, it's good. Like, looking at the bright side, I think it's a good thing that MMK is highlighting transgender stories. But at the same time, it would have been nice if they had cast a transgender man to represent the story and like bring the story to life.
I agree, but at the same time, I kind of understand where they're coming from. I feel like, one, there aren't much known transgendered male actors in the industry right now who are probably quote unquote qualified for such a big episode. And Ann Curtis was used as a way to gain viewers and probably get more parang traction for the episode. I'm sure Ann Curtis didn't intend to like misrepresent anyone.
I'm pretty sure she's not an evil person.
Yeah, so they've been going through a lot of controversies in this season with the Maymay and Trata blackface for Igorot issue. So we'll have to see what MMK has to offer as they lead up to their 30th season or 30th year.
Grabe. Tagal na, 30 years.
Go Tita Charo. Miss Charo Santos Concho. So next, lastly, we have the AHS 1984 cast reveal. So we have some returning faves: Emma Roberts, Billy Lord, Leslie Grossman, Cody Fern, and John Carroll Lynch. And we have some new cast members: Olympian Gus Kenworthy, Yas na yun agad, Deron Horton, Zach Villa, and Glee's Matthew Morrison. That's pretty interesting.
Fave. Yeah.
Glee is the best. So there will be a cameo from Sarah Paulson, but she won't be appearing on a regular basis as she has in the last 8 seasons of AHS, and also appearing in American Crime Story, the first season, as Marsha. What's her last name?
Sorry,
the lawyer of the Kardashian. Marsha, a lawyer.
Si Marsha Johnson.
Just Marsha.
I don't know.
Basta dun sa O.J. Simpson thing. And Evan Peters is also sitting out. But this is an interesting thing because HS has been on for so long, and it's nice to have a little change.
Yeah.
And this isn't the only project Ryan Murphy has in the works. So the super producer, who according to Boodie is my life peg. Well, he is. He is naman. So he recently signed a deal with Netflix. So he's producing The Politician starring Ben Platt.
I'm so excited for that one.
That's really exciting.
I'm so excited for that one.
It's a musical ba? Parang hindi.
I don't know, but like I wouldn't be mad if it was.
And
Pero
then
diba, it's about like a high school, diba? Parang someone running for class president.
Hindi ba
or
siya
something
like
that?
politics?
I don't think so. I think it's high school.
Oh, okay.
Well, we'll wait
it makes
and
sense.
see.
Then we have the film adaptation of The Prom from Broadway, starring Nicole Kidman, Meryl Streep,
This is
Meryl
super
Streep,
exciting.
Ariana Grande,
Yeah.
and James Corden also
And
are
it'll
gonna be
like
there.
fill the void since Prom is closing
I
on
know,
Broadway. So at
that's
least
so
we have this
sad.
to look forward to after it ends its run.
And finally, another thing is that he will be reteaming with Sarah Paulson on One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest. Kanina pa yan. One Flew Over
so
the
first-
Cuckoo's Nest.
So first recording namin of this, he said the exact same thing.
It's never gonna stop. So it's a prequel series called Ratched, starring Nurse Ratched. I hated that character so much.
Yeah.
And I'm sure Sarah Paulson, being the great actress that she is, will make us hate Nurse Ratched even more. Or maybe understand where she's coming from.
Mm-hmm.
So shout out to Father Nick in heaven who showed us this.
Yeah, thank you for introducing this film to us.
Yes. So speaking of Broadway, just a short popcorn
Mm-hmm.
also. Broadway is experiencing a Broadway purge for some ridiculous reason.
I know.
Waitress was
it's
just
like
announced.
the apocalypse in Broadway.
Yeah, Waitress.
Waitress is gonna
Like
end its
what?
run.
Be
So-
More Chill.
Yeah, and the prom.
And the prom. I wanted to watch the prom also.
And I don't understand. I mean,
And
I
Boodie is just about to go on a New York trip.
And then, so the top two shows that I wanted to watch were The Prom and Be More Chill, but they're not gonna be showing anymore by the time I get there. So,
Ay, nako.
iyak na lang ako.
Iyak na lang talaga.
Mm-mm.
So that's a sad for Broadway
Yeah.
fans everywhere.
Yeah.
But they also announced the cast for the West Side Story revival
Mhm.
for 2020.
With Isaac Powell.
Exciting stuff.
Yeah, super.
And West Side Story movie had a cast photo and everything also. There's a lot of musical revivals
and also,
happening
in the
right
Heights, have you seen the
now.
pictures
Oh, I
of her
haven't
in the
seen
Heights?
that.
Super, check Lynn's Twitter. Super dami niyang posts
Okay,
about
I
it.
will go and check that
Yeah.
out. So, that is our popcorn for the week. Ang daming popcorns as always.
Mhm.
News is always developing. Sports is always developing.
Woo! Who is
So-
she?
So yun, those are our popcorns for the week. We will go on a short break and we will be back with our main topic here at Popcorn. Westlife the 20 Tour, celebrating 20 years of hits, July 29 and 30 at the Smart Iron at the Coliseum. Tickets are now on sale at ticketnet.com.ph or call 911-5555, presented by Wilbros Live, Westlife, hashtag Westlife Manila 2019. And we are back here at Popcorn, your stop for all things pop, and we are already approaching our main topic for the week, which is Stranger Things. Season 3. 3. Sobrang sabaw na namin dito.
Stranger Things Season 3.
So, before anything else, this is a spoiler-heavy episode, as per all of our discussions. So, if you haven't seen Season 3 of Stranger Things,
Stop listening.
or Stranger Things in general, stop listening,
Go
watch
watch it.
and come back.
8 hours after.
Or 8 times 3 episode
That's
after.
true.
That's 24 episodes.
Wow, galing mag-math.
Wow,
no?
mental math right there. Quick fire
Parang
mental
di
math.
ko major.
So anyway, before we head into our main discussion, as we mentioned earlier in the podcast, we lost a whole episode and we were with our co-host Angela. So before she left us and we parted ways when we were all so sad,
Yeah.
she
and
recorded
defeated
a short message, which is an abridged version of
all her main points.
all her main points from our lost episode. So here's that bit. Just listen to what Angela has to say, and we'll probably reiterate a bit on
Yeah.
that a bit later.
Roll the clip.
So we're here right now in my car after the shenanigan that happened at the Radyo Katipunan studio.
The unfortunate event.
So before we proceed with the full episode,
The full re-recorded episode.
here's a special message from our co-host Angela, who couldn't make it to
The
the
re-recording.
re-recording. So hello, Angela.
Hello, everybody. So just in general, I wanted to talk about the influence of Stranger Things and everything. My own personal thoughts, favorite characters, etc. So this might be a little scattered, but hopefully it makes sense. Anyway, Stranger Things was such a phenomenon when it came out because it took back that sort of format of interwoven stories, like different threads coming together. And I really didn't mind that we didn't understand 11 at first. I didn't mind because sometimes when there are characters you don't understand their motivations or anything, you get kind of sick of them. But I super enjoyed that about her because she had such a charm about her, and that the season 1 coming together in different strands, all coming together at the end, I super enjoyed, which I thought which I thought was mirrored this season. Season 2 was a little more scattered because when you come together in such a tight formation in season 1 and it sort of blows up, of course you have to deal with that falling action. But season 3 came back to its roots, and in that it wove together again different stories coming together, like Russians, and then 11 and her newfound girl friendship with Max and everything. Hopper and Joyce trying to figure something out, like if Mayor Klein is up to something or anything. So I really enjoyed that about this season. I also enjoyed the theory about Will's queerness.
We'll probably dive more on that later.
Yeah, so Will being queer, question mark, is it? I like that it's open right now, especially because of Mike's outburst, like it's not my fault you don't like girls. Plus that inclusion in season 1 where Joyce was talking about what's the dad's name? I don't remember. But Joyce was talking about their dad.
Nobody cares.
Yeah,
what
nobody
the dad's
cares about
name
him.
is.
He's awful. Joyce was talking about him and how he used to say that Will was a F word, and that he was different from other kids. So it's interesting to see how that dynamic plays out vis-a-vis us thinking maybe Will's just not grown up yet or anything, and the introduction of queerness at all in Robin. Super enjoyed that, super love that LGBT inclusion in season 3 and everything. And season 3 was just fantastic for me. I loved the Mind Flayer. It was just heightened in its stakes, in its feelings, in its emotions, and I think
true crime.
And true crime. It felt very serial killery. Like the mark of a serial killer is that they can be very, very charming. And Billy Dacre Montgomery was so charming this season. Him and Heather, and I thought that it played such a great role in the whole of the show, like that sort of aspect of them luring people to become flayed, and it's like a voluntary kind of reaction. And I also like how at the end of season 3, instead of that violent closing of the gate from season 2, 11 instead is more tender when she tries to confront the main villain, quote unquote, and she brings up a memory, and it's not as violent. It's like it's a different approach to resolving any conflict within the series. So those are mostly my thoughts. A little scattered, I'm sorry, but just before I go, and because of the technical difficulties we had. But yeah, season 3 super good. Stranger Things super good. Super enjoyed it. Also watched Blown Away. Great stuff. Good stuff. Thank you, Netflix. I love you.
So thank you, Angela. Your opinions on this episode are very valued. We are very saddened by the news of our audio being
I'm
gone.
Cry. This is so sad.
We're also sad here in the car right now
Yeah.
because we just lost that whole 2-hour episode. So this is just proof that Angela was here.
Yes,
And
I
she
was
provided
part of
her
this.
expertise on the
Thank you.
philosophical and literary realness of everything.
Thank you.
We're so sad we won't be able to have her in the rest of the episode. But yeah, I mean, that's it. Thank you, Angela.
Thank you, guys.
We hope to see you again in the
Amen.
next episode. Hopefully in better circumstances
Yeah.
than this.
With the non-muted mic and everything.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Patalo talaga si Mike.
Mike
Yun na.
talaga.
Oh my gosh, we'll get into that again.
Mike patalo. Every other kid was patalo, but Mike this season talaga. And Jonathan disappointed me so much. He should have supported Nancy. I'm just saying.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'll rehash what you said earlier.
Thank you,
Don't
thank
worry.
you. Thank you so much.
So yun,
Okay.
thanks Angela.
Thank you,
Thank
guys.
We will see you again in a further episode
Yes.
of Popcorn.
Yes, I'll see you soon.
Enjoy the night. Enjoy. Ingat. Pauwi.
Thank you.
Okay.
Goodbye, children.
Bye. So there you go. That was Angela's take on Stranger Things and Stranger Things season 3 particularly.
A very, very quick version of what she
Yeah,
thought.
so thank you, Angela. She experienced a 2-hour recording with us, but
I know.
sadly, it's gone. Hopefully,
know.
we retrieve it somehow.
It sucks because she had so much like good insight in that
Yeah,
episode.
and we really, really enjoyed that whole episode in general.
So yeah.
But we'll try to do our best.
Yeah,
to,
and we'll try to rehash what she said if she missed anything in that
Yeah,
recording.
so Angela, if you're listening to this, thank you again.
Thank you.
So now we will proceed to the real topic, which is Stranger Things. So Stranger Things, briefly lang, created by the Duffer Brothers, came out on Netflix in 2016, with season 2 coming out in 2017, and just recently season 3 came out. So it's been a really big phenomenon in general. Probably Netflix's biggest original out there. And what made Netflix original such a big cultural impact was started by Stranger Things.
Yeah, because when Stranger Things came out, like, the Netflix wasn't really into original content as much as it is now. Like, they were just starting out and trying to explore, like, making original stuff. So that's one of their earliest stuff that they put out, and it was an
unexpected hit.
Yeah.
Starring, like, literal no ones.
Yeah, the kids weren't really,
And the kids were so small. They were so cute.
I know.
And, it had so many iconic things to begin with. When we talk about season 1, we remember Eleven's egos.
Yeah.
The Steve and his baseball bat with spikes.
Yeah. Winona Ryder just screaming, "Well!"
and having those ABCD Christmas lights.
Yeah.
And aside from that, of course, we can't not speak about Barb. #
Justice for Barb.
Who we will never forget.
We will never get over.
Her impact has reached far beyond the walls of Hawkins.
Yeah. Just because everyone loved Barb, she got a cameo to Riverdale.
She became a regular in Riverdale.
Yeah. Oh, really? I don't watch Riverdale anymore.
Shannon Purser is Ethel and has had a bigger role in the recent episodes, though I haven't really seen the last bit of season 3, LOL Riverdale. And yun nga, Boodie earlier was saying about Sierra Burgess is a loser. She really is a loser.
Cholo has very strong feelings about it.
Yeah, like, wow, that was crazy.
But at least now we know, like, wag ka na ma-sidetrack over it. Because we lost, like, 2 minutes original episode of you just hating on that movie.
Yeah, I mean, I love to hate watch things. So if you want to hate watch something, hate watch Sierra Burgess as a loser. But back to Stranger Things.
Yeah.
What else? Season 1. Dustin.
Yeah.
Dustin.
Just Dustin.
I mean, season 1 basically was just really, really raw. World building.
Yeah.
The
But
Demogorgon.
we just met 11. We still, like, had to figure out, parang, who is she? Why does she have all these powers? Who is the Demogorgon? Why is he after
What's
Will?
the Upside Down?
Yeah.
And we had this, like, side story in a high school love affair between Steve and Nancy, and then Jonathan third wheeling or like
the
being
Steve
a
and
love
Nancy,
triangle.
the Steve and Nancy relationship seemed so long ago.
And so toxic.
Parang ang dami na nangyari since
Like
then.
the very reason Barb is dead is because Nancy was
wanted to
such a
hook up.
toxic person.
Grabe ka naman.
I mean, she left her friend out in the pool.
While Jonathan took photos of her from the bushes.
That was so
because
creepy.
that was super normal. Oh my gosh.
Anyway, justice for Barb. We love Barb. She has been iconic.
Yeah. But in generally, like, Stranger Things, like, before watching season 1, I was never a big horror fan or, like, anything scary or creepy or anything with, like, supernatural elements. Like, I wouldn't really watch those kinds of things. But I think Stranger Things got me hooked because of the cast, the kids. Like, their chemistry is just so good, and, like, they're also likable and charming.
And the whole 80s vibe. Kasi,
Definitely.
80s nostalgia has been such a huge chunk of pop culture in the recent past. And Netflix's Stranger Things has been one of the most iconic ones to come out.
Yeah.
Aside from, like, San Junipero.
Oh, yeah, that's
Yeah.
true.
So, yun. Season 1, great.
Yeah.
Great introduction. Season 2, we have mixed feelings about it.
Yeah.
I mean...
so, season 2, essentially, just Will gets tormented again.
Will comes back from the Upside Down.
Yeah.
Gets tormented from the inside because nagsuka siya ng isang slug at the end of season 1. And then, they go fight demo dogs.
Yeah.
including Dart, who was Dustin's pet.
Yeah. Which also brings us to a recurring theme that we noticed on how every season in Stranger Things, we said na palaging may isang kid na may
Annoying
patalo. Yeah, so like season 1, it was Lucas because like he was the paranoid kid. Like he didn't want to be friends with 11. Like he didn't trust her. So like he was the very skeptical character. And then to season 2, we have Dustin.
Oh my gosh, I was so mad at him.
Who decided to keep Dart even
Yeah.
though he looked super sketchy and gross.
But then it did save them at the end of the day.
I mean, yeah, I guess.
Pero that really sucked.
Oo. That started the whole conflict of the season.
That's true, but you know, season 2 also introduced Steve and Dustin.
Yeah, that's true.
From sobrang glow up ng characterization
Character ni
Steve
I
from
love
that
Steve.
brooding
Yeah.
whatever typical high school pogi crush ng
Yeah.
bayan trope.
And then he became like the kuya ng bayan
Yeah.
after.
So that was really nice also. And we were also introduced to Max and Billy.
Yeah.
We don't really know what their deal is. I mean,
Yeah.
Max is just some tomboyish girl who they meet in the arcade. And then si Billy is just
some guy who's just pure
just
evil.
some hot guy who's evil.
100% evil.
Yeah, parang gusto lang niya managasan
Yeah.
ng nagbabike na bata.
But I guess, yeah. So even though like hindi ganun ka-established yung roles nila sa season 2, we get why they were introduced because they played a much bigger role sa season 3, which
And we'll
we'll
talk
be
about
getting
later.
into later.
And aside from that, 11 also, the story of like what happened to 11.
Yeah.
And we find out that she was harbored by David Harbour. She was
Kainis.
harbored by Hopper.
Yeah.
So, kanina tawang-tawa kami kasi I said something along the lines of,
Parang
did Hopper become her papa,
dad,
her papa?
aka Papa. So like, Cholo genuinely kept asking, wait, is he Papa? is Hopper a Papa?
No, I was like,
No.
did she ever call him Papa? Kasi nga, yung tawag niya sa
Yeah.
real dad niya
Yeah.
was Papa. But apparently not. This is not the Papa Ketchup or Papa Can You Hear Me by, Papa
my
Can You
God,
Hear
I don't
Me
know what's
by
happening
Yentl or Barbara Streisand.
So yeah, but
So that was the whole Papa thing.
yeah, but I think that going back before the whole Papa thing, our issue nga with season 2 is, I guess that episode of like 11's,
The X-Men.
yeah, the X-Men-esque episode of Stranger Things, because we felt like it was the episode that before the finale. Am I right?
Yeah.
Parang
the penultimate
ganon.
episode,
So like
I believe.
we thought that it was a bit, parang it ruined the, what's the word? The momentum. Yeah, of the series.
Like she just appeared as a bitchin. As a
Yeah.
bitchin. I mean, with her slick
uh-uh.
back look and her leather jacket.
Yeah. Although it was a really interesting episode to see
Yeah, I
like,
really liked that
11
episode.
mingle with like people that are like her.
Basically mutants,
Yeah.
if you can call them that. I liked it. I mean, it could be a
Yeah,
spin-off
yeah.
for sure.
Definitely.
When they plan on stopping Stranger Things, the main show, they could probably focus on like the other people in
Yeah.
that episode. Pero as we were saying earlier with both Boodie and Angela also, we were saying na it just doesn't fit well with the rest
Yeah.
of the season.
With the pacing that it was parang umiba yung pacing of the series because it kind of felt out of place.
Yeah.
But
So
it was still good. It was
still really good. So season 1, season 2, really iconic.
Yeah.
I can say that. Season 2, we actually watched like
In one
sitting.
Yeah, in
from
one sitting.
3 p.m.
Exactly.
to 2 a.m.
Yeah.
Like we were separately watching it from our own homes, but we were chatting with each other like, "Oh, tapos mo na?"
Yeah. True. So, yeah,
And that was our fun employed life kasi. So
we
were
different back then.
we were different back then.
But in fairness, yung season 3, I even watched it one day also.
Talaga?
Yeah. Like, I remember, it wasn't planned. No, season 2, I planned to watch it.
Yeah.
Like, because nga, we weren't doing anything. So I was like, oh, this is my goal. I'm gonna finish season 2 in one sitting. Pero nung season 3, it was unintentional eh. So parang I watched the first 4 episodes, I remember. And then nag-break ako to watch Spider-Man Far From Home.
Daming time.
And then when I got home, I finished the rest of the episodes. Pero the fact that it wasn't like intentional, parang it just goes to show how much of an amazing show this is. Parang it's so easy to watch. Parang
you just want to watch the next episode right away.
Yeah.
But yun nga, I even had a nosebleed after like 7 episodes. I was like, wow, 11.
Siyempre kinilig ka over that.
Yeah, I was like, what a pop culture moment right there. I even sent it to Boodie or probably posted
Pinost mo pa
on
yun.
IG stories or Snapchat pa yata yun. Wala pang close friends, so censored. Anyway, so yeah, iconic season 1, season 2.
But the season 2, the most iconic scene pa rin, we can't not acknowledge the snowball. The snowball scene. Because like,
after everything
they've been through hell and back, so they deserved that snowball. And like the moment with Steve dropping off Dustin to the ball, like giving him girl advice and like teaching him how to fix his hair. And then after that with Dustin crying, sobrang I wanted to hug him.
Saving the day.
Yeah. So wala lang. They just deserved that.
And hindi ko pala nasabi kanina yung how iconic Stranger Things was that all the Halloween costumes.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Which Boodie is wearing right now.
Yeah, unintentionally because
she had a Joyce costume.
Yeah, I had a Joyce Byers costume like 2 Halloweens ago. Because yeah, super pop culture phenomenon lang talaga.
And I was like on the search for Eggos in the Philippines because I didn't really know what Eggos were. And I was able to buy them somehow in duty free yata.
Everyone was 11 for Halloween.
Yeah, that was crazy. And wig.
Yeah.
Even men were 11.
Yeah.
So that's how big it was. So that's pretty much it for our Stranger Things season 1 and 2 recap. We loved it. Of course, we were super excited for season 3, which we will talk about after this break. Welcome back to Popcorn. Of course, we are still here at your stop for all things pop with me, Cholo Sediaren, and my special co-host for the day, Boodie Lastimosa.
Yay!
So now we get to the very dive of our episode.
The meat of the episode.
The meat of the episode. We've gone through the chicken skin. Now we're in the meat. It doesn't make sense, but we will go along with that analogy.
Again, it's late, guys.
It's really late. We feel like we're in the upside down and we still have work tomorrow.
Yeah.
So anyway, we are here at the season 3 discussion. So first, what did you think about before coming into season 3? Because we had a 2-year wait as compared to season 1 and 2.
Like first of all, like watching the trailers, my first impression was I was so excited to see the costumes and like the production design. It was very peak stereotypical 80s. So like the outfits were like all bright and neon and it was just super like aesthetically pleasing. So like yun pa lang, medyo superficial, but yun pa lang I was already like super excited to see what's in store for this new season.
Same for me. I mean, ang daming hype, ang daming merch. I'm actually wearing an H&M X Stranger Things collaboration, which you won't be able to see
anymore.
Because, we also had my Funko Pops, the Stranger Things, with us earlier in our taped recording, which didn't happen. So, we're all really excited. And it's nice to have shows like this that take their time and nagpapamiss sila. Hindi yung parang we were talking about RuPaul's Drag Race. I was like, they've had 2 seasons a year for the past 2 years, and as much as I love it, it's kind of getting tiring to see the same thing.
So it's good to have like breaks in between seasons, like just so you can miss the.
But now we want season 4 right away. It's
actually
different.
Hindi. Ako parang I wanna
wait it out.
I wanna parang break time muna before we get into
Netflix
all the drama
is never
again.
running out of series. I mean, I think my list has been so flooded with a lot of things.
Yeah.
And I haven't been able to watch it pa rin.
Yeah.
So anyway, on to season 3. So what do we want to discuss about season 3?
I guess also like before getting into the whole thing, like also before season 3 was released, I also was really excited to see the Starcourt commercial promo.
Oh yeah.
Did you see that? The Starcourt, ano? So, because back in the 80s, like, the mall culture was super popular back then. Like, the mall rat culture. So, it was, again, really exciting to see, parang yun nga, a stereotypical 80s theme being incorporated into Stranger Things.
And that was it's really the main topic or main
it was the center point.
Center setting for the whole series.
Yeah.
Like the whole season pala. We're not British, we don't call it a series.
Yeah, so
Anyway.
it was very Robin Sparkles.
Let's go to the mall. Come on, Eleven.
Wag na.
Come on, Maxine.
Wag na.
Let's go to the mall. You'll find some Russians. Oh, may bago na ako sa verse ko kanina, yung first part lang.
No.
So speaking of mall culture, the main story kasi of season 3 is that Russians have
over
apparently
the mall.
invaded Hawkins, trying to get to the upside down or whatever it is out there.
Yeah.
And their guys was a mall, which is the Starcourt Mall, which is the main setting. And nobody really knows. They were just like, oh, there's a new mall, #American
Fun.
capitalism,
Yeah.
fun. And there was something brewing beneath.
Yeah.
So parang
Quite literally underneath.
parang Robinson's dressing room lang ni Alice Dixon with Robina
Kabog
or
sila.
whoever.
Nauna pala tayo sa
Nauna pala
story.
yung Philippines. So gagawa ko ng fanfiction na nasa Starcourt, may Demogorgon pala, hindi siya ahas sa Robinsons. Abangan nyo yan. So anyway, yeah, I mean, the peak mall culture shown there was really showing how the malls took over the small businesses.
Yeah.
Which is still true up to this day, even in the Philippines.
That's true.
It's so sad to see how when big malls open, smaller enterprises close and suffer. And they show that through Joyce's store, for example.
Yeah.
So yeah, there's a lot of that Russian versus American thing. I mean, I don't know where it's coming from because a lot of people on the internet are saying with the popularity of Chernobyl and the recent season of Stranger Things, there's sort of like a paranoia involved with the Russians again. Like, where is this coming from? Is it simply because the times, as according to Angela kanina, was like, is it because the Cold War was simply a thing in the 80s? Or is it because there's some sort of paranoia in the present behind the scenes that are affecting such
how we
stories
represent it.
and how it's represented? So I think, as Angela was telling us earlier, it's more about, representation and how the media should be responsible. Like, what does Russian Twitter have to say about this?
Exactly.
Does Russia even have Twitter?
Yeah. Kasi medyo, I'm pretty sure they do. Pero like, I get it. Parang medyo na typecast yung Russians. Like, from Stranger Things to be like the bad guys.
I mean, they had Alexei.
Yeah, well,
and
that's true.
Another person.
Who was the other person?
I don't know.
So yeah, parang it's a bit tricky nga to like...
Yeah. At least they humanized one person.
Yeah, Alexei. May he rest in peace.
Justice for Smirnov.
Pero yeah, back to like the Stranger Things 3 theme in general. I think what we can agree upon it was like a much more emotional season
and a much more mature season.
In a sense that the drama was heightened, it was scarier,
it was fun,
it was funnier,
it was funny,
it was more sad than it has ever been.
I think most of that is due to the fact that this is the third season and we've grown with these kids.
That's
we've
true.
seen them from age 10 to now. Like, they're probably age 15 at this point.
So it's like we saw them grow up.
And we've been
our
invested.
Children.
Our children. Precious children. We've seen their development as people and characters. Kasi siguro in season 1, if somebody had died, we wouldn't be as affected. Yeah. But now that people
we got to know them.
Yeah, now that we get to know them, you're like, oh my gosh.
I just can't.
Grabe yung grown up glow up.
Super.
Like,
all of them. Like, especially
Lucas.
si Mike. Mike was the one na pinaka, like, nag-grow up from the previous season. Like, he's just super tall now.
Yeah.
So, parang alayan na ng boses nila.
Yeah.
It's just weird. Parang, oh my God, they're all grown up. Tapos, like, si Lucas, like, if you've seen, like, behind-the-scenes videos, he has, like, facial hair now. He has, like, a beard. Tapos, si Noah Schnapp also, like, grew a lot. Pero, like, si Dustin lang more or less stayed the same.
Pero may ngipin na siya ngayon compared to that season. But of course, as they are true to the story, they put some prosthetics kay Gaten Matarado.
Are you sure talaga about that?
I think may ngipin na siya ngayon.
Oh,
if I believe
they just removed it.
They probably digitally removed it with CGI.
Ay, nako. Si Dusty Bun.
Okay. Aside from that, syempre si 11, just Millie Bobby Brown is gorgeous.
Yeah, just 11 slayed.
She did.
The whole game as per usual.
She carried the whole season again.
Basically, she was doing the absolute most
that she can. I mean, in season 1, she only had 246 words. Sabi ni Angela, that's like almost two tweets.
That's what she said.
Well, all she said was, Papa.
Yun lang, 200 times over.
Of Papa and like ego or something like that. So yeah.
And then now, I super love how in this season we get to see 11 like learning how to be a teenager.
Because of her girlfriend.
Friendship with Max. Which another like character progression thing that I would want to talk about. Like, no, season 2, like Max and 11 had like very bitter feelings toward each other, especially 11 towards Max because like she thought Max was like stealing Mike from her or whatever.
Yeah.
And then now it's super nice to see them like becoming actual friends and like Max
because we shouldn't pit women against other women.
Okay, yeah, true.
Yes.
Tapos, yeah, so like I loved seeing like Max just teaching her like about dressing up, about like
comics
and like his celebrities
boys
to fangirl over.
Yeah.
So yun.
Sino yung pinakita niya?
Si Ralph Macchio. Which is a good choice, by the way.
Karate Kid. So aside from that, before we go on to the like per character discussion, I like the fact in season 3 na they had so many side stories or so many individual stories, but by the end of it, at the Battle of Starcourt, they all battled together. They all were tied together so seamlessly. Like we had the boys, Will, Mike, Lucas, and then Max 11 and Jonathan and then
Jonathan and Nancy.
We had Jonathan and Nancy, and then we have the mall gang,
the Steve, Robin, Erica, and Dustin.
Yeah, and then we had Hopper and Joyce as
Smirnoff.
usual, and Smirnoff.
So yeah,
and by the end of it, they were all like
tied
together, and that was as compared to season 2, I think,
where they were just all together all the time.
Or like parang hindi ganun ka seamless yung pagkagawa.
Yeah.
So that was really good. I mean,
so parang right now, kasi since they were all like split, parang once they all reunited, parang they all had their own strengths. Parang lahat sila may ambag to the final battle, which I really
and the
really
final
enjoyed.
battle was significantly bigger. It's in a mall. They had a bigger kalaban. They had fireworks.
Yeah. Thanks to Lucas.
Who finally redeemed himself
from season 1.
That was a brilliant
Mike,
idea.
on the other hand, wait, we didn't talk about this. Let's go back. So earlier we were saying, diba, na every season may patalo. We didn't say that season 3, it was definitely Mike yung patalo.
Like, all he thought about was 11 loving him back.
Like, being overprotective about 11 and like hating on Will.
His
How
BFF.
dare he? Just because Will wanted to play Dungeons and Dragons. So yeah.
His best friend had to go through so much.
I know.
And that was what you'd say to him.
I know.
He was like, just because you didn't like girls.
That's not how he talks.
Paano?
That's... Pero yeah.
I was talking from Mike's season 1 voice. Anyway, so yeah. We're going now to our discussions that we like per character. So I think first of all, I really love Nancy's characterization here.
Yeah. For
Like,
sure.
she's gone such a long way
Yeah.
from season 1, where she was like a pabayang friend who left her friend to die. Hashtag justice for Barb.
To now a strong, independent woman.
Yeah.
So like Nancy in this season, like she kind of embodied the struggles that women face or are still facing, like especially in the workplace.
Hashtag girl boss.
Yeah. So in season 3, we see her and Jonathan working at the Hawkins Post, and then we see her like being constantly ridiculed by these old white men who like every time she has an idea for a story,
They just call her Nancy,
Drew, and her idea just automatically gets shut down.
Shout out to Michael Park though from
Yeah.
Dear
Evan
Hansen.
Hansen. Nakilala natin yun. Woo!
Nandun pa ba siya sa show? Nandun pa na siya sa show, no? Na
Oo.
Dear Evan Hansen.
Oo.
Anyway,
Oh, wait, is he? I think he is.
I think he still
Aren't you-
is. He's the longest
Anyways.
running cast member of that
Yeah.
show. So
So,
he was the boss, and they had that Donald Trump-esque character.
the super creepy
Yeah,
one.
I mean, at the same time, it's also kind of political. Kasi, you know, in a lot of the liberal media in the States, they have a lot of these political
Yeah.
allusions to Donald Trump. And of course, they took this opportunity to have that character opposite Nancy.
Yeah.
I mean, you can see how brilliant Nancy is in
Yeah.
following a story.
Yeah.
But as a woman in a workplace in the
Yeah.
80s, of course,
It's not gonna be
it's not
as
gonna
easy.
be as easy. And
And like, if you
yung
see...
jowa niya, hindi pa siya
Oo,
sinuport.
okay. So yeah, so first of all, it was super frustrating, but like it was an unfortunate truth to see that like Nancy had to work 100 times harder as compared to Jonathan. Jonathan was just always there, just developing his photos. Tapos magalit lang siya every time Nancy opens the door, while Nancy's like running all over town just to get like a lead on her story.
Yeah, the exploding
Yeah.
rats.
So like that's another thing. We just wanna sidetrack a bit. How Jonathan disappointed us this season a bit, wouldn't you say? So
Yeah.
like it was
After all you've been through, ayaw mong paniwalaan.
So like that scene in the car where they were kind of fighting and getting annoyed at each other, Jonathan and Nancy, because Nancy wanted to push for her story, while Jonathan was like being too annoyed telling Nancy that she was so relentless.
But that's life. You live in your own personal
Yeah.
bubble. You're such a
Exactly.
konyo Atenean.
So nanggaling yun?
No, I mean, like, you get it. That's
Yeah.
kind of like how people try to say things to people just because
Yeah.
they live a privileged life
Exactly.
more than you.
Parang Jonathan, you don't understand that Nancy needs to be relentless if she wants to further her career, because
Like, she may
it's
not
just-
be, she may
yeah.
be rich, but she's also experiencing her own struggles as a woman
Yeah.
in the 80s.
yeah.
And it's nice that she had her moment with her mom also.
Yeah, especially because the mom has been like kind of sketchy because like of her
Si Mrs.
obsession with
Wheeler.
Mrs. Wheeler was like being all like interested in Billy. So like that was a bit weird for her, but it was nice to see her and Nancy like have that little moment where she encourages Nancy when she was feeling super defeated and
Yeah.
saying like, no, you go and like work hard on your story.
Yeah.
Go push
Because
for it.
she, as a woman in her age, has not been able to fight for herself the way she
Nancy
thinks that
can.
her daughter
Yeah.
can. And that's really nice to have a supportive parent like that, because, you know, at the end of the day, she was all about her family, even
Yeah.
if there was this hot guy in front of her
Yeah.
already inviting her to go to a motel.
That was super weird. I'm
Creepy.
so glad that wasn't a scene. I was like, kung matutuloy yung scene na to, I'm gonna get super creeped out. So good thing it didn't.
So yeah, that was the Nancy storyline. Next, we have a new character, Robin, played by Maya Hawke. She's actually the daughter of Ethan Hawke and Uma Thurman, I believe.
Yes.
So she's a really good character.
yeah.
What I love about Stranger Things is that they're able to integrate new characters
super
without
seamlessly.
being so forced.
Yeah. And like, they're all like super likable.
And they're all like, they have their own quirks
Yeah.
and their own like, I don't know, it's just really interesting how they fit into the world so perfectly.
Yeah, exactly. So for this one, so who is
Robin, she's the co-worker of
Steve
ano,
at Scoops
of Steve.
Ahoy.
In Filipino workplace, it's called office mate, hindi co-worker.
May
Sa Pilipinas lang may office mate yata.
co-worker ni Steve Scoop Ahoy.
They work at this ice cream shop at Starcourt Mall called Scoops Ahoy. And Dustin the whole time was like, hey, you've been searching for girls all along, but just go for Robin. She's there. And then eventually, by the end of the season,
Steve does like fall for Robin.
Yeah, and he's not really disappointed, but he's like surprised to find out that she's actually not pining on him, who has been the heartthrob of Hawkins High, but a girl
who was pining over Steve.
Yeah, so parang kasi in the beginning they were like, "Oh, you caught my attention so many times. You got this croissant with egg or whatever like that."
Croissant social ni Steve.
Croissant ba yun? Or bagel?
I don't remember.
Something with basta tinapay na may tinapay na may palaman.
Is it important?
It's not important enough. But to be that specific kasi you'd believe that that person was pining on you or crushing on you.
Yeah.
So by the end of it, Steve was like, "Oh."
Yeah, so like in the end we find out that Robin is
lesbian or bi. And, it's not clear.
Yeah, that's true. Tapos I super love how Steve reacted to it. Or how he didn't react to it. Because like you would think like a male teenager in the 80s would be like homophobic or like
he didn't respond in the toxic masculine way.
Like we were talking about this earlier. Like we're sure that Steve in season 1 would have definitely acted that way. Yeah. But because that's not the Steve we know now, Steve is like
the babysitter kuya vibe.
Yeah. So I super love how Steve was super chill and like accepting toward Robin because I super stand their friendship.
Yeah, parang, it's really cute.
Yeah. The whole time parang I super really enjoyed their chemistry, like them, like Steve and Robin together, like when they were high together, sort of funny,
Yeah.
And like just in general, how they would interact with each other.
That's really cute.
Yeah, when Steve was actually like starting to admit that he had feelings for Robin, parang something wasn't clicking for me, and I couldn't explain why.
Yeah.
Tapos when Robin said na parang, "Oh, I don't like you that way," parang I was like, yes, that makes much more sense. Like, we don't need to force a relationship on Steve just because, like, Nancy and Jonathan are in a relationship and he's not. Parang, so wala lang.
And speaking of LGBT narratives, so this is kind of more like a theory from people na season 3 alludes to Will's parang theorized sexuality even more in this season.
Kasi naman, again, naalala ko lang ulit si Mike. Can we just go back to Mike for a second? So we were talking about the scene where they were playing Dungeons and Dragons, Mike, Will, and Lucas. And then Mike and Lucas just weren't having it. And then Will's feelings got super hurt when he found out that like, they weren't interested at all.
Because they had girl problems.
Yeah, and then Mike was just like, ano sabi ni Mike?
It's not my fault you don't like girls. And Will was like,
yeah. And like, si Mike talaga, sobrang, I want So parang, I just felt super bad for Will. Medyo nagde-digress ako. I'm sorry.
I mean, like, I guess kasi, you know, as you were saying to us earlier on our first recording, now Will had to go through, it's not about not liking girls in general,
but like, it's been, for the past 2 seasons, Will has been suffering over this like supernatural creature that's been taking over his mind. And like all he wants now is just a sense of like normalcy. And then all of a sudden isisira ni Mike yung vibe niya. And I'm like, nah, Mike, nah. Wait, what were we talking about?
Yun nga, kasi it's the fact that quote unquote he doesn't like girls. We're not completely sure about that.
Yeah.
As Angela was saying in
parang,
the previous the previous recording and the message recording na there have been allusions even in season 1 where Joyce was saying to Hopper na his dad was saying na calling him the F word just because he's different.
Yeah.
We're not completely sure because they haven't really explored that narrative yet.
Yes. Kasi again, people will say nga that it's a possibility that just because kasi he's not young, but he's not like old enough to like be confirmed na parang he doesn't like
But
girls.
it's kind of an indicator.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, but we're not completely sure about that. And then, yun nga, a lot of people on the internet also have been saying that Noah Schnapp carries the whole show, but he was been put to the side on season 3.
Yeah.
What do they say about that?
I guess, yeah, he didn't have as big as a role in like saving the world, the joke naman, saving in Hawkins, Indiana. But like at the same time, if I were Will, I would rather be sidelined than being parang tortured by the Demogorgon and
Naging
the Mind
ano na
Flayer.
lang siya. Naging alarm
Parang, diba?
clock.
Wouldn't you prefer that?
Will would be like, he's here.
Oo.
I'm having my Peter tingle.
I mean, I would rather that than like yung super possessed episode niya nung season 2. Speaking of,
Noah Schnapp deserves the awards for all of this.
Has he won an Emmy? For
Parang
acting?
wala pa.
He should.
He should.
He definitely should.
I mean,
wala sa season 3 pero
wala
season 2.
Wala siya sa season 1.
Yeah.
Season 2, he carried a lot of the acting, and he's the youngest cast member in this squad. So it's really nice for not just Noah Schnapp, but a lot of these kids who are really going out there and showing what they can do. Like, si Finn Wolfhard was in It and will be in the second It this year. And Millie Bobby Brown is in a Godzilla series. And she's also gonna be part of the Marvel Cinematic Universe soon. I mean, those are rumors that she'll be part of the Eternals with also rumored cast members Keanu Reeves and Angelina Jolie. What a powerhouse cast that will be.
May budget.
Well, it's Marvel. But going back to Stranger Things, the kids are all grown up.
And
it's more mature because the first scene we see is Eleven and Will.
No, Mike.
11 and Mike.
Just making out.
Not just kissing. Nagmamomol na talaga sila.
So, like, it is a reminder na parang, they are not just kids anymore.
Yeah. So, aside from that, of course, there's still more Steve and Dustin.
My 2 favorite characters. So, it's super, just parang medyo fan service na at this point, I feel ko. Because, like, again, everyone loved them at season 2 and how their relationship was in season 2. And then now, just like that opening scene where they reunited after Dustin came back from science camp, that whole handshake thingy, sobrang cute nun, man.
Yeah.
So, it's just super fun.
It's nice to see how they've developed all the different character relationships at this point. But before we go to our next point, I forgot to bring up what I brought up earlier today, which is the whole Will queer upside down reach theory.
Okay.
I really reached for it.
Okay, that's true.
Because I had this theory saying na, so is Will being in the upside down sort of representative of a struggle of being an LGBT member? Kasi parang people don't see what you're going through on the other side.
Yeah.
So it's sort of like a closet or something like that. And even as he was out of the closet, quote unquote, and then his mom had to put the mind flayer out of him. Even until season 3, may parang tingles pa rin siya or may vibes pa rin na, I'm feeling this. So parang, I just thought of a random theory that the upside down can be an allegory or an allusion to being a queer person in society. It's kind of a reach, but it could be
impossible.
It could be a reading to it. If you have a completely queer reading lang talaga, that might be what you get from it. So yun lang. I just wanted to bring that up one last time before I forget.
Okay. Who else can we talk about?
We have Jim and Joyce.
The
parents.
oldies. Tapos,
they were fighting
I know.
the whole time, and by the end of it, Hopper quote unquote dies. We don't know if
he dies.
Hopper actually dies
so
or
I
not.
refuse to be like all sad.
Because there was an end credit sequence, and there was an line
American person
to an American person
in Russia,
which a lot of people believe to be Hopper.
Because there was no body.
And well, people in the beginning were seen to be like slobs na lang.
Yeah.
But there were also other people in the room who went in kasi. So I feel like they must have extracted him before everyone else died. And then, brought him to Russia to become a prisoner.
Let's just hope he's a prisoner and not dead.
Because how will they find another actor such as David Harbour who will fill in that role?
I know. Like, he's been such a parang important
pillar.
Oo, yeah. Exactly. Tapos, wala. Super, anyways. Back
And
to
it's nice that they made Murray come back. The bald eagle is in the nest.
Yeah, because like season 2, we were saying he was a babysitter of Nancy and Jonathan, and then now he just became the babysitter of Hopper and Joyce.
Yeah.
And their
That's
like
really
issues.
fun.
Yeah.
It's just so sad how that ended, but we'll have to see.
Hopper never got that date.
We'll have to see how...
Sana sa season... Oh my God, imagine ko sa season 4 and he is still alive and then he gets that date with Joyce.
That might be the OTP na talaga. So next, another big protagonist in this season. Antagonist pala. Oh, well, both. You can say that.
Antagonist.
It's Billy.
Yeah.
Well, we didn't really... Earlier, we were saying na Billy and Max, we don't really know where they fit in to this universe. So, we're kind of saying that Season 2, I feel like it's more like a transitional season between Season 1 and 3, wherein we figure out where the world is at the moment.
Yeah.
So, here's 11 coming back from wherever she came from in the Upside Down, being with Hopper, and then everyone else reeling from that whole where's 11 now.
Yeah.
And then we have the new characters, Max and Billy. Like, we don't really know why they're there for season 2.
And now we know it's because Billy's gonna be a serial killer.
Kind of. I mean, Billy kasi is like, from Will, the mind flayer went into Billy's body. And he basically flayed everyone. And they all exploded and turned into this big blob monster.
Exactly.
Parang mga rats.
Pero, I don't know, Billy kasi talaga, because he was so evil, like in season 2, I just never ako naka-sympathize for him.
But that probably made him more effective as a villain. Because you already know that he's a villain.
I mean, that ending, like right before he died, diba, that was, parang he kind of sacrificed himself. So, I guess, at least he had that redeeming
I think that's a really good redemption because that humanized him.
Yeah.
Na 11 was able to see his past and why he's kind of like evil, if you can say that.
Yeah. He is evil.
Well, he's a human being.
I know. Sorry, hindi ako Billy apologist.
I'm not a Billy apologist either, but I'll say that it's nice that there's a backstory as to why there's Billy that we know as an evil person who wants to sleep with Mike's mom. Yeah.
But still, it was super sad.
But what I love is that even though this is a fantastical or a horror sci-fi kind of thing with Billy having the mind flayer controlling him, it also had that 80s true crime serial killer vibe na this is how serial killers act. They're good looking.
They're charming.
They can easily just get women or other people to do what they want and then kill you. So Angela and I are big fans of true crime, and we love that this was the characterization or the storyline that they gave with Billy. Yeah.
It was super scary. This season talaga.
Yeah, the rats alone were like body, and it's like body horror na talaga.
Yeah, well, just like everyone stabbing each other and like hitting each other with sharp objects
And speaking of that, there was also a controversy with this season.
Why?
Na ang dami daw smoking. So now...
Was there?
Yeah. Parang people are like, there's too much smoking in Stranger Things season 3. So Netflix parang made a statement that they were gonna lessen smoking on Netflix shows.
But wasn't...
that an 80s thing?
Very 80s to be.
I have no idea. People are too offended these days.
Well, anyways. But yeah, again, like what I was saying, that's what I also noticed about the season of how much, like, scarier it got because of how much gorier it was.
Tapos, siguro yung more about the Russian thing is Alexei, aka Smirnov. That was really cool. Shout out to Smirnov Mule. The drink of choice of
every
Athenian
students
ever. It was really nice to have. I mean, among all the Russians there's all this paranoia and tropes and stereotypes of what the Russians are.
We get this one wholesome character.
Yeah, Smirnov just wanted some cherry Slurpee and to watch Looney Tunes.
I forgot to mention, I also, speaking of like Slurpees, I super love the nods to Heathers. Like,
were there?
Whether it was intentional or not.
Yeah.
I don't know if it probably wasn't, pero I picked up on it because if you're not aware, Winona Ryder was in a movie called
Veronica.
Was in a movie? Oh my god. so Winona Ryder.
May musical po dito.
Winona Ryder was Veronica in a movie called Heathers, which was made back in the 80s. Tapos
and turned into a musical, which I just sang.
Yeah. So in Heathers, diba, JD the
Oh my gosh! Oh god!
Diba? So JD, the love interest of Veronica, or Winona Ryder's character, was obsessed with 7-Eleven slushies. Tapos also
there's a
Alexei,
whole song about this on the musical.
Freeze your brain, listen to it. So, diba, Alexei was also,
oh my gosh,
obsessed
ngayon ko
with
lang
7-Eleven
na-realize yan.
Yeah, di mo napansin?
No,
I forgot to mention that earlier.
I was too into Stranger Things.
So I felt like
realize.
I'm pretty sure that's a nod to Heathers. Because like
Probably.
Winona Ryder, 80s movies.
It probably is.
Serial killing.
And speaking of Winona Ryder, this is like, she's on a roll.
Yeah, super.
I mean, this kind of revived her career.
Yeah.
And there's a lot of like really nice Easter egg casting happening here. Like in season 2, we didn't get to mention kanina na
oh my God,
Bob,
si Bob.
newbie
How can we forget?
superhero
Rest
was
in
also
peace,
a
Bob.
thing. Hashtag justice for Bob. And justice for everyone who's been affected by this whole upside down phenomenon that's happening in Hawkins.
Yeah.
I mean, Bob was a really good character. Si Sean Astin was in
From
the
Goonies, which was a very Stranger Things-esque din daw, apparently.
It's really one of the inspirations behind Stranger Things, like Goonies and Stand By Me by Stephen King. So it's nice to have like a revival of 80s people. I'm not sure if David Harbour was from an 80s show or not.
He looks like he was.
Probably. But like in Riverdale, for example, a lot of their cast members, such as
teen heartthrobs
R.I.P.
Luke
Perry was part of 90210, tama ba?
And Molly Ringwald.
80s queen of all 80s movies. So it's kind of nice to have that revival. Also in the Arrowverse, may mga Easter eggs sila about all those things.
Just capitalizing on people's nostalgia.
Yeah, and now even Keanu Reeves, it's like kind of nostalgic but also on a roll. So, yun. A lot of interesting things. And aside from that,
so wait, back to Alexei muna. Hindi natin natapos. Sa-sidetrack tayo kay Heathers. So, ako, you can explain why you loved Alexei so much. Pero ako kasi, I think because I was just paranoid the whole time and I thought like he was an undercover bad guy. So when he was shot by si Arnold Schwarzenegger, like parang hindi ako as na-affect as
and
the internet
Arnold
was.
Schwarzenegger, that character, I believe, is a reference to the Terminator because he really looked like Arnold Schwarzenegger. He didn't really speak that much.
Going all crazy on Hopper.
But he just went all cray-cray and couldn't really be killed until the very last point. So that's also a nice 80s throwback. I mean, there's more Terminator to come in the real Terminator saga. Pero yun, back to Stranger Things.
Ikaw, bakit super na-invest ka kay Alexei?
I don't know, it was really fun to have another, iconic character or parang
super innocent
a quirky innocent person na who made such an impact already. Parang si Barb lang na Barb was like pretty much not intended to be as iconic as she is right now. Same as Alexei. It's really nice na parang okay, he just wants his slushy. He's a good guy. He wants The Good Life.
Oo.
Parang Russia versus America nga na
The American Dream gusto niya
yeah,
lang
the
matupad.
American Dream with Looney Tunes, TV,
Carnivals.
7-Eleven, Carnivals, July 4th.
Celebrating, yeah.
Everything. It's just cute.
Yeah.
Yun lang, Alexi. Justice for Alexi again.
Lahat
He
na
was
lang.
taken from us.
Basta generally, #justice for everyone in this series. They all deserve better.
They all deserve better. Yet they stay in Hawkins.
Yeah.
And let's talk about some more favorite moments from this series or this season in particular.
Mm-hmm.
Of course, there's the iconic "I dump your ass" scene.
Yes. I love that one because sobrang, again, I love the Elle and Max friendship. And like, I love how Max was teaching Elle, like, okay, you should not take any crap from any boy ever, especially Mike.
What was her specific line?
She said, wait, I took note eh. Max said there's more to life than stupid boys. So take note.
Take note, girls or boys who are, thinking about that.
There's more to life
it's really
than
nice.
stupid boys.
And they had a girl bonding moment at the mall.
Yeah.
They both looked gorgeous.
They're super,
AF.
yeah, super pretty.
Ang ganda nila, and now they're just like probably 15, 14. Imagine if
They're
they
only
get
gonna
older.
get prettier.
Yeah, they could be the next Sophie Turner or whoever's popular as
Yeah.
a teenager.
So, like, I love that montage. Like,
Yeah.
even though medyo cliche na yung, like, makeover montage.
It's a very 80s
yeah,
thing. Tapos yung
I
kanta pa,
super,
Material
super
Girl by
enjoyed it.
Madonna.
Yeah. Parang yung sa Crazy Rich Asians lang.
Oh,
Alala
right,
mo?
yeah.
Material Girl din yun eh.
It's the typical
Yeah.
makeover song.
Mm-hmm.
But it's nice. Eleven's outfits were gorgeous. That
Yeah.
black romper thing.
Yeah. Would definitely, like, wear that as a Halloween costume. Sobrang cute na.
Yeah, I mean, they even had the ketchup and mustard moment. I mean,
Yeah.
there was a scene in episode 3 yata or 4
When they
when
went
Heather
to-
was missing.
Mhm.
When they went to Heather's house and then they were in a red and yellow raincoat
Yeah.
parang outfit
Yeah.
respectively, and there was a behind the scenes video showing Sadie Sink and Millie Bobby Brown singing like ketchup and mustard, something like that. So that's really cute.
Sobrang cute talaga nga nila.
Next, the
should we-
never ending story.
Yeah. The
That's-
most iconic,
I
most
mean,
iconic scene of the whole series.
it was kind of random, to
super
be honest.
random.
I mean,
So-
because in episode 1, Dustin was all like, "Oh, I came from Camp Nowhere. I have a girlfriend who's really pretty and really smart at the same
Yeah,
time."
she's a Mormon and she lives in Utah.
Yeah, and everyone was like, "Yeah, right. This girl is imaginary, just
Yeah.
making it up. How could she be
So
this pretty?"
again, si Mike ba nun?
I think so.
So
Or
like,
Lucas.
yeah, I swear, if Mike was the one who initiated that teasing, then parang I swear, Mike, get your act together by season 4.
Pero yun,
Pero,
that was so iconic. Never Ending Story was like
It was super
an
funny.
80s song. I'm not
Yeah,
sure who
it
sang
is.
it originally.
So like the karaoke. Well, again, I was saying that earlier. This scene reminded me so much of Crazy Ex-Girlfriend. So that's a TV series na parang
Yeah.
musical, and they have this song called Gratuitous Karaoke Moment, where they were just parodying like the tropes of rom-coms. And then so for that one, they were saying na how in every like romance or romantic movie, parang always the couple would sing like karaoke out of nowhere, and it would make no sense, super out of place niya, but regardless, everyone loves it, which is exactly what this
happened?
was. Yeah.
The world was literally ending, and Susie Poo was like,
Time out, kanta muna tayo.
"Wait, I have to hear it first before I give you this." What was that?
The number.
The number, Plank's number,
Dusty Bun naman. Oh.
and Dustin was like, "Oh crap."
But okay.
Everyone's in the walkie-talkie, but he was like, "Turn around, look at what you see."
So yeah, and I love how it's on Spotify now. I can
It
just
is.
listen to it.
Go listen
whenever.
to that, and also the original song. It's really fun.
Yeah. And apparently, the girl, si Susie, she's apparently young Allison in a fun home.
And
So, ayun.
Gaten himself was in Les
theater
Mis.
boy din siya, diba?
So it's nice to have that integrated in the
Yeah.
show.
So anyways.
That was really cute.
Shout
a cute
out to that
moment.
scene.
Shout out to Susie.
Parang,
Maybe she can join the squad
that would
eventually.
be fun.
I'm sure
If
she will. They need more women in the cast.
That's true. Kahit via walkie-talkie lang, that's fine. With like more Susie. And more song numbers.
Speaking of women, we forgot to mention Erica because you can't have America without Erica. I mean, it's really nice that they extended her role in the series.
Yeah.
Because in season 2, she was that sassy sister to Lucas. But now, she has a bigger role in the mall gang.
Yeah. I love how parang she was kind of super complimentary character to Dustin. Because like, again, diba, she was also like a nerd, as they would say.
Yeah.
So parang I like how Dustin now has like a partner.
Yeah.
Or like, parang mentally may na siya. May partner na siya.
It's just really cute to have that character evolve also into more.
Yeah. And also, my heart melted yung when the buyers moved away.
Child endangerment. Operation Child Endangerment.
No, it's the ending when the buyers moved away tapos they gave her the Dungeons and Dragons. So, oh my God, passing the torch. Lalang.
Spin-offs. So many spin-offs.
I know. I was saying also na I would also super watch just the series na kahit walang monsters or anything. Like the 2 years, for example, in between season 2 and season 3. I would watch just them like going to school, going to the mall, having fun, talking about boys.
Like a Disney Channel show.
Yeah, exactly. I would super watch that. So like, kung naghahanap kayong spin-off series, Duffer Brothers.
Yeah. Well, it's really nice how everything came along together here and nothing seems forced.
Yeah.
I mean, sometimes kasi, by the next season, they're saying that it might be the final season kasi, like, for example, in an interview with the Duffer Brothers, they were like, so far, what we've written ends with season 4. So, of course, that's kind of sad to hear.
Yeah, definitely.
But it's also nice that there are showrunners out there who value their craft more than value how
money.
much they can extend and how much more money they can get out of it. For example, like Glee extended until season 6 and they milked the hell out of that.
Parang joke time na lang siya by the end.
Yeah, but I still finished it. So listen to episode 4 of this podcast for our Glee recap.
But like back to Stranger Things, parang it makes sense because I don't know how sustainable this kind of a series is. Parang you can't just
have a new
monster every year. Parang sobrang kawawa naman yung mga bata. Like,
exactly.
So I think even though it'll suck to end in season 4, parang
how else can you go
I feel
from
like
there?
it should. Kasi parang give the kids a break. Let them grow up and live
Angela
normal
was
lives.
saying that she's hoping that this next season will be set during Christmas when they said they would return to Hawkins. Because
so it also gives them a reason to go back.
Like there's a holiday pattern now that we realize. Kasi
there was
if
Halloween.
it will be a Christmas season, season 3 would have been the 4th of July. Season 2 would have been Halloween.
Yeah.
Ano yung season 1? Wala lang. Regular 80s nostalgia.
Diba Christmas no season 1?
Was it? By the end of season 1.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it's just a nice pattern to have. So it's interesting. We don't know for sure what will happen in season 4.
Kasi 11 doesn't have powers anymore.
Yeah.
So we were also thinking like, what if her
other X-Men friends come back
and like help destroy the Demogorgons? We're assuming.
And yun nga, in the extended scene, there was like Demogorgon, and presumably there will be more Demogorgons because how else could you make it as big as this season at this point? Because this season was really epic to begin with.
I super feel bad for these kids na.
Yeah.
Let them live.
Wala na silang buhay. Pero parang what I really liked was how cinematic this season still was. I mean, compared to season 1, it was more like an indie vibe, raw vibe. But this one still was very cinematic, I would say, and all the colors were really nice to look at. But it felt very commercial.
Yeah.
More like a network show as compared to like a Netflix original. I'm not sure if it's intentionally made that way because the 80s were the peak of such shows.
Yeah.
So, good on them if it was intentional talaga na they made it this way.
Yeah.
So, that's really interesting. What else? we just don't know what to expect out of season 4.
Yeah, but I'm sure it'll be just as amazing.
So for now, we will write the fanfic with Alice Dixon and Demogorgons.
Yeah.
So that's it for our Stranger Things season 3 discussion.
Woo!
We pretty much tackled what we tackled
Yeah.
in the Lost episode.
I still can't believe we lost that episode.
And I still can't believe we re-recorded an hour and a half of this.
In fairness, 30 minutes na yung difference. So meaning we got most, if not all, of the points down.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
it's really, I mean, it's really late at this point.
know.
It's almost 2 a.m.
My gosh.
at the time of this taping. So, yun, we will be back with one last bit of popcorn. WWE Live returns to Manila on September 20, Friday, at the Smart Araneta Coliseum. Tickets are now on sale at ticketnet.com.ph or call 911-5555. Catch your favorite WWE superstars, including Roman Reigns, Kofi Kingston, Finn Balor, Charlotte Flair, Xavier Woods, Big E, Asuka, Elias, Kevin Owens, Shinsuke Nakamura, Rusev, Bayley, Carmella, the Iconics, and many more. Hashtag WWE Manila 2019, presented by WWE and Wilbros Live. Talent lineup subject to change. And we are back with our last bit of popcorn. As usual, we have the Pop Stop, which is our top picks and recommendations for anything pop culture we have consumed in the past week. So, Boodie, take it away.
So the past week, I've been listening to like pretty much exclusively Casey Musgraves songs.
Again?
Yes.
I mean,
So parang
it
I
is
was
a
into
really good
her-
album.
I was into her like a few months ago, and then I kind of stopped listening to it, and then I started listening to her again.
Mm-hmm.
So I want to just recommend her latest album, which is Golden Hour, which is a Grammy award-winning album. So yeah, if she's a country singer, Casey Musgraves is a country singer. And if you're not into country, like I thought I was, I think Golden Hour is a good like
Transition.
gateway,
Mhm.
gateway album to get into country because it's
It's-
more country pop.
It's kind of like Taylor Swift before she went 1989
Yeah,
full
exactly. If Taylor Swift had like kept on her
Yeah.
country genre, I think this is more or less what she
Yeah.
would have sounded
And it's
like.
a really good album, huh?
Super.
High Horse is a bop.
Yeah. Country disco, parang I would have never
Yeah.
thought that parang fusion of genres
Yeah,
would
and
work.
Space
but she made it
Cowboy.
work. Space Cowboy was also super good. So,
Rainbow. Rainbow ba? May
Yeah.
Rainbow.
Yeah, I recommend.
Go listen to that.
Mm.
And for me, I would recommend the Netflix film Unicorn Store, which is directed by Brie Larson and starring Brie Larson, reunited with Samuel L. Jackson
It's a Marvel
after
reunion.
Captain Marvel.
Mhm.
It's a really, really fun movie. I mean, I was really having a bad mental week last week,
Mhm.
and I was really feeling down, and I had a rest day after that whole 1 week of working, and I watched this movie, and it's kind of like a basic story that you could see as a narrative in a lot of other movies,
Uh-huh.
because the story is kind of like Brie Larson is this girl who believes in unicorns, not really believes in unicorns, but like she hasn't really outgrown her childlike tendencies.
Uh-huh.
Probably like myself.
Uh-oh.
That's why I could relate with it.
I see that.
Kasi, yun nga, she's an artist, but her art is not necessarily appreciated by the general art people because
Yeah.
it's different and has unicorns, which she has been obsessed with since she was a child.
Mhm.
And she's kind of being peer pressured by her family, her friends, or to just have a normal life like everyone
Yeah.
else, have a job, all that. It's really relatable, especially for millennials, I think.
Yeah.
So go watch that. I won't spoil how it ends, but it ends really nicely.
Mhm.
It's just really feel good, and Brie Larson's just so charming.
Yeah.
And surprisingly enough, she's really a good director too. So go watch Unicorn Store on Netflix. And just to add to that, as Angela mentioned in her special message, her recommendation for the week is the Netflix show called Blown Away. It's kind of like a glass blowing competition.
She explained it as like Master Chef, but instead of food,
It's glass blowing.
Yeah.
So interesting.
Yeah.
I'm curious to see
It's
what
a super unique
Blown
concept.
Away is.
Yeah.
Super niche.
Yeah.
Niche?
Niche. Niche.
Whatever. So that is it for our pop stop for the week.
I can't believe we re-recorded this whole episode.
Congrats to us. We
Oh
made
my
it to the
God.
end of our re-recorded episode. It's almost 2 a.m.
Yeah.
before-
Hopefully it's as authentic as the
I
first
feel like
one.
it is.
Yeah.
And we brought up the good points.
We
of
actually
our...
brought up even more points pa nga eh, I would
Yeah, the
say.
Heathers thing.
Yeah.
Anyway, so would you like to plug anything, Boodie?
No, don't follow me.
Don't follow her. So, of course, for me, go and follow at Popcorn with Cholo. That's at Popcorn W Cholo on Instagram and Twitter. We'll be updating everything about our episodes on those social media channels. And right now, I'm trying to start to develop it, Popcorn, as not just a podcast and radio show, but also as a social media news hub for anything pop culture related. So, abangan nyo yan. It's gonna be...
BuzzFeed is shaking.
Yeah, BuzzFeed is shaking. We're gonna make our own thing with Popcorn. Let's
Exciting
make it
times.
happen. Exciting times. Nagsimula na yan with Darna kanina umaga. Ang dami ng retweet. Thank you to everyone who retweeted that. Of course, our old episodes, if you haven't listened to them, are also available on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, YouTube, and wherever streaming platforms you have for podcasts. So if you're also listening to Apple Podcasts, please do rate us so we can reach the charts and reach for the skies. Next week
Wow.
on Popcorn, we have a really exciting guest. I've always wanted to have more episodes about Pinoy pop culture specifically and Pinoy movies. We're gonna be having Annie the Harvest, some actors and directors and producers from that film. It's coming out in Cinemalaya pretty soon in August.
Yeah.
So it's an exciting thing to talk about next week. So do tune in to Popcorn next week for the Annie the Harvest special. And that is it for our Popcorn Stranger Things
Woo!
extravaganza
We did it!
Redux. Let's go to the mall. Thank you so much, Boodie, for
my gosh.
redoing this. Kanina na late na ako, so
I know. He was 2 hours late for our recording.
don't blame me
And
for
then
the
now,
circumstances
we
of
re-recorded
life.
everything twice.
Yeah.
And now it's 2 a.m.
And now it's 2 a.m. and I'm still gonna edit this. So thank you so much to everyone for listening to Popcorn. Patuloy lang yan. Malapit na tayo sa 10th episode na main episode.
Papa-blow out na si Cholo.
Malapit na mag-blow out sa lahat ng co-host na hindi ko binabayaran dito. Thank you so much, Radyo Katipunan, as always, for providing the studio and airing the show every week. So, thank you guys. See you all next time. Bye.